Yeah, shit. The intro. Give me a second. Okay. Welcome back to another episode of Shay and Hygge, where we sip our Egyptian tea and sometimes spill it, all while we hygge, embracing the Danish art of cozy living. If you haven't yet, make sure to like, subscribe, leave a comment, and check out our other channels on Instagram and Spotify for the full Shay and Hygge experience. Now grab your Shay and let's hygge. Hi, Phoebe.
I know him. You got your Shay ready?
I actually have not got. This is the second episode I forget about the Shay. I'm
It's
so
the first
sorry.
episode I remembered the Shay, so it's all good.
That's nice. That we're, one step forward now. You have the Shay. I will have the Shay next next time.
You can give us some other types of Shay maybe. You can spill the Shay.
I can spell the Shay. Exactly.
All right.
All right. Actually, I thought we could switch it up a bit this episode
What we
and
got?
make it a little bit more lighthearted. I was thinking of maybe reacting to a crazy parent slash teacher story on Reddit. Should we do that? Should we try that this episode? What do you think?
I think that sounds like it'll be fun.
Nice. I've actually I've found a couple of stories already.
Yeah.
There's the one with a teacher with experience who tells about how she's cracked the code about parents, rude parents.
So I've read this one, but you haven't read this.
I have not. I wanted to save it for the podcast so I can give my initial reaction.
Absolutely. All right, so I'm going to read it out loud. You ready?
I'm ready.
So the title is Tell Me Your Crazy Parent Stories. I'll go first. I just had a parent decide to pop in the middle of the day and wanted to come observe the class for the first time ever. This parent has been argumentative and ridiculous all school year, for context. It was my prep, and the counselor was teaching a lesson while I was at my desk. The kids are doing the fun activity, and parent is sitting beside their kid. Out of nowhere, parent corners me and asks me why their kid is failing two subjects, and I flatly said it was because they are asleep all day, which I have brought up numerous times to both her and admin with no consequences. Parent actually accused me of being boring and not caring about her son the first day, oh yeah, when I reached out because he slept all day. Parent then tells me it's my fault for teaching in the morning when her son is tired
I'm
and tells
sorry, what?
and tells me to teach after lunch so that he can pay attention. She also told me that I need to reteach everything to him separately after lunch every day. Period.
Oh no.
Oh, wow. So your reaction, please, because it's the first time you hear it. And
Mm.
I'm also curious to hear how often you've encountered something like this as a parent or with other parents.
So first of all, this parent, um, very helicopter. Is it also called a helicopter parent? What's it called in English? Because it's a saying in Danish.
A
But
helicopter parent, like
yeah,
just constantly
kind of
hovering over. Like,
sounds like it. Or maybe she was trying here. I don't know if the post or the parent was a woman or it doesn't
mm,
matter. But
yeah.
it kind of sounds like they were trying to maybe prove that their son is not sleeping or like kind of see for herself, which makes no sense because it makes the kid just like super, what's it called? Conscious about like, okay, mom or dad is standing right there. Like, I'm not going to sleep now, obviously. Or I don't know. That's just my initial thought. This parent sounds miserable. But I can say my daughter's only 4 and it's like daycare, but so not like quite school per se, but I haven't experienced that a parent is that hovering. And also because like I don't know, that's not really the type of parents Danish parents are, if that makes sense. They like their kids to try for themselves, be independent, like have their own experiences. They don't interfere. They actually, even when like I have a friend of mine who's a pedagogue or like teacher, and she said that she would let the kids resolve their issues by themselves unless it gets physical. They can, handle themselves.
100%.
So, I mean, I don't know. It doesn't sound like something that would happen. I mean, it could, of course it could, but it doesn't sound like something that is a typical Danish parent or does that make
No,
sense?
I definitely agree. I think
Mm,
Danish parents do not coddle their kids as much as I've seen in certain schools in certain countries. I'm an
mm,
international teacher, so I work in an international setting and I've worked with kids from literally all over the world. Um, and there's definitely some cultural element to it. There are some cultures that hover and cuddle their children a little bit more than others. And I would definitely agree that Denmark is one of those countries or one of those cultures that believes in independence and agency and autonomy and critical thinking and all the important things that a child really needs to develop and to be successful in the world and to be successful in school. And my God, I actually did not realize how much it was something as simple like yeah, I didn't realize how much it was embedded in me the Danish pedagogical approach to things. Something as simple as rain, Noha. So like in Denmark, if it's raining, the kids put on their rain clothes and they go out and they get wet and they get muddy and they have fun and it's sensory play involved and
exactly.
imagination involved and all sorts of beneficial things benefiting their immune system also. There's so many scientifically proven things, benefits to children
Mm,
going outside and playing in all types of conditions.
mm.
Now, so many other cultures, like if it drizzles, first of all, I have seen some questionable rain gear that I'm like, this is, you might as well
What
just put a
what
plastic
does
bag
that
on.
mean? Okay.
That means it does not protect shit. It is literally like putting a plastic bag on your shoulders and going out into the rain. It doesn't do anything. So, like Danish people also, you know how in Denmark there's this saying, there's no such thing as wrong weather, or bad weather. Sorry, it's just bad attire.
Yep.
Yeah, I've shared this with other teachers in international settings where I'm like, guys, there's no such thing as bad weather. It's just bad attire. The kids just need to put on some proper rain gear and we can go outside and
Yeah.
not have to stay inside for 8 goddamn hours
Yeah.
just because it is raining outside and we live in a very rainy part of the world.
Exactly.
So like half the year you're just gonna keep the kids inside. So even something like that I had to adjust to.
I was just curious, how did the teachers react to that saying? Like when you said that we we don't necessarily have bad weather, the kids just need to have the right clothes on. How did they react to that?
Some teachers reacted positively to it and they were like, "Yeah, that makes sense, and you're absolutely right." And some teachers thought I was batshit crazy and were like, "Yeah, but it's rain. They're gonna get sick." And and like there are other teachers
Yeah,
that
if
were
they're
like,
not used to it, maybe once, twice, and then they're fine.
and then they're fine. And then they're fine. And like, yeah, and it's just been shown. And one teacher, what was it that she said as well? Like, she was no, she was actually like, there's scientific proof that you cannot get sick from being wet from the rain. So all this nonsense of like getting sick for being outside is just crazy. Going back to the Reddit post. So that was just about like the difference between Danish pedagogical approaches and like other cultures. For example, would never let their kids go outside in the rain. Like it terrifies them. It's funny.
When you say southern cultures, what does that mean?
I mean like Spain and down.
It's a very I, I dare I say Scandinavian thing. It is very like Scandinavian countries do that.
Yeah, absolutely. I would say the Dutch as well. The Dutch and the Flemish do it as well. Just
Maybe
not so
also
much in
German.
the French regions. Yeah. But we started talking about cultures because we're talking about how hovering is different in different cultures. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. So even that. Um, I
That would
really
drive me
also.
nuts. A parent that like comes in and disturbs my work like that.
My God, it would drive me nuts if anyone does that. Like, I've also had teachers walk into my classroom without knocking, and that also drives me crazy. I'm like, excuse me, please knock. Eh?
Yeah. Mm.
So yeah, and like for a parent to come unannounced and observe is absolutely insane. Absolutely. There are schools where I've worked in a school where they absolutely no way would let that happen. First of all, we have like some schools have security or reception, so no one can just come in. But if a
I was
parent,
actually
yeah,
I was just gonna say, like, are the schools allowed to ban the parents from just coming barge in and stay for the whole day or something?
every school I have worked in, the parents cannot come unannounced.
Uh,
You need to come and pick up your child, let us know. You need to have a meeting with the teacher. Fine, that's scheduled. Come in. But if
uh.
they try to come in unannounced just because they want to, absolutely not. Absolutely not.
But now I'm actually a little bit curious. Why is that? What if?
Because you're
Yeah.
disrupting the teaching. Like if we've got activities planned and we've
Uh,
got lessons planned and a
uh,
parent comes in, and especially if we're talking about the younger ones, first of all, as I think we also pointed out before we started recording, kids act different with their parents around. They're not going to like the kids are not going to feel natural even when another teacher is in the room to observe, for example. It's not eh, no, it's not a comfortable way to learn, and it's not about you. Like as teachers, I don't care about you as a parent. You want to see me? Fine, schedule a time, come see me and we'll have a meeting. My concern
uh.
is the well-being of all students. And then if one parent comes, then that's also going to start that. Well, my mommy, did you want that? I want to bring my mommy too. Can I please bring my mommy? It's like that. Just there's no. It'll just bring more complications than what it's worth. You're invited to come,
Just
just don't come unannounced.
I I'm just more thinking of like, and this is from a parent's perspective, and I'm not necessarily saying that just because I'm a parent that that's the only thing, but I'm just saying like, mm, so the government already is telling us like your kids has to go to school for X amount of years, and now I can't like come unannounced and, for example, I'm not going to say I'm going to hang out cuz I don't want to do that, but let's say pick her up for something.
Yeah, come pick her. To do that unannounced. But let's say, I mean, it can't be completely unannounced. Let's say you're on the way to the school. What's a
Uh
phone call like? Hello, I'm gonna come pick up Marley in 20 minutes. Also, just so that we have her ready, because it's so disruptive
uh
for a parent to come and be like, I need her now. Okay, so I have to stop what I'm doing with 18 kids in the classroom because I have to help Marley pack up her bag, pack up her water bottle, remember her pencil case, remember this, remember that, because she's going home now. Get her
uh
ready and have her out to you now because you need to go. No, at
right.
least give me like 20-minute heads up so I can prepares or like plan how to keep the other kids busy while I help Marley give her time to organize herself, with a little bit of guidance and a little bit of support. Like it's just so disruptive to just come unannounced. I
Mm,
need my kid now. Like, no, that's not how it works. Sorry, dude. Okay, you
yeah.
can have your kid now, or not now, but you're gonna wait at least 20 minutes until I
Hmm.
can organize everything else.
Yeah.
But you're saying about like, the government's already telling you you have to send your kids, and like it's not cool to want to. It's not cool that you're somehow limiting my access to my own child. I get
Exactly.
that.
That's my
I
point. Yeah.
I get that. And listen, I mean, if we want to talk about how like the schooling system and the political system and all of that, I'm down to have this conversation. But that's a much deeper conversation. From my
Fair.
perspective as a teacher, it's like you can't just disrupt my class whenever you feel like, just because you want to pick up your kid.
Mm,
Like, I understand it's your kid, but please also understand that I have 18 others that I need
yeah.
to
That's
deal
fair.
with. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I'm all for homeschooling, and I say this as a teacher.
Dude, seriously, I have contemplated a little bit the same thing, like seriously thought like what would it take for me to homeschool my daughter? But I don't know, I've just hesitated first of all cuz how would that work first of all economically, like if that makes sense for our family, and also she's an only child, how like that would take from her interaction with kids her age. I know I can do it in other ways, but I don't know. I should maybe sit at some point and try to do a pros and cons list to homeschooling. Um, but I don't
The
know.
pro side would definitely win. But yeah, so back to the crazy parent story. Absolutely
Mm,
insane for a parent to just drop in and observe the class. Like we were talking about just picking up your child
yeah.
and observing the class. Like there's some schools where we have like I've definitely taught in front of parents, whether it's like a welcome back to school
Mm,
thing and see what's up, or a window into the classroom, like
yeah.
random time throughout the year just to for the parents to come and see what their kids have been doing in school. But again,
Mm,
that is scheduled. We can prepare. Like, don't tell me a parent is going to come in because again, like there's many students in there. It's not just your kid, and the parent is going to come in
exactly.
and just see like their child, how their child is behaving, what their child is doing. It's like, yeah, but you also need to understand it in terms of the dynamics. I personally don't want a parent coming in when, I have two students who like every few seconds to few minutes are making peacock sounds. And like everyone else in the class is like,
Gift.
guys, can you please stop? Can you please stop? 'Cause it's like, you don't want parents around for that either. It's just like, yeah, this is just the
But but think about it, Phoebe. The kids are not going to act that way when there's a parent around. Don't you think?
no, no, no. No, some will act up more if there's an adult
Oh.
around,
Oh, oh,
another adult.
okay, okay.
Some see it as
Okay.
like, this is my time to shine. I'm telling you, like kids, for example, who make peacock sounds every few seconds, kind of sometimes enjoy when all eyes are on them for a second. You see it on their face that they're like, "Mm, I got my attention. Thank you very much." Well, you don't, I mean, I would love for parents to come not with the intention of like observing their child and seeing how their child is getting along. I also respect parents that are like, telling their child, like, suck it up and deal with life. But I would
Mm,
want parents to come to observe, not even observe, to try to teach a class without any teachers around. So like you like
mm.
you're not getting any help. You're on your own in this ocean.
Yes, I see what you're doing. And you know what? Some parents need to have this experience to understand. So there's another post on Reddit, and this is from a teacher's perspective, where the title goes, the crazy, entitled, difficult, and rude parents are crazy in other aspects of their life, not just with you. Don't take it personal. And this teacher goes on, I've had approximately 400 students total over the years, and the one constant is this. The crazy, entitled, difficult, and rude parents are crazy in other aspects of their life, not just with you, every single effing time. Sometimes I know about the other crazy right away, and sometimes I find out a few years later. When I have their younger kid, but every single time without fail, no one is crazy in isolation. Only at their kid's school it seeps out. Do you already have like mental images of some stuff from like a teacher's perspective? Because I'm already having like some stuff, but I can go some through some of the examples. Just so one of the examples, or a couple of the examples she wrote. The dad who told me I don't know how to do my job and should quit found out from another teacher that he had been legally banned from entering the campuses of 3 different schools because he was so aggressive with previous teachers slash staff. Crazy.
So,
Mm,
do you have something to share?
not. I mean, I'm just so I've read this when I sent it to you earlier, and I'm reading it again now, and for some reason, like the first time around, I was like, okay, that's fair that she, sorry, I don't know if the person is a man or a woman, but anyway, um, it just kind of the first time around felt like the person was I was like, okay, that's fair enough. Like, that's how they feel, or they've interpreted some situations and they put some, pieces of the puzzles together when they met like some of their kids later on. But now that I'm reading it again, I feel like I was like, are you a little mad? Like, are you a little angry? I don't know. Is it just
The
me?
the the person that is writing?
Yes.
Oh, for sure. For sure. This is definitely
This
vulnerable
is like
resentment.
rage. Yeah.
100%. This is I am fed up with this shit. Like, and this is like, an affirmation to myself. Like, don't take it personal. It's not about you, it's about them.
But it's just like I didn't read it in that light the first time around. Super weird. Um, but yeah, I don't know. Listen, I think it's fair that some teachers are fed up with some parents because I can imagine that a lot of parents are like really difficult to deal with. And it's also the same way when you're like a cashier at a supermarket, or if you just in general have to do with people, you're going to meet those types of people, and they're also parents, unfortunately, sometimes. So, yeah. I mean, I
So,
hope, yeah.
so I've always said that like 90% of parents are great and collaborative and fantastic and
Mm,
understanding, or, might be a bit protective of their kids, but they also understand that for me, it's about a bigger classroom dynamic. It's really
mm,
only 10% of parents that are crazy, like the ones that she's talking about in the post.
yeah.
And yeah, like for example, this made me think of um a student I've had where um he was a new student, he started off new, and before he started the school, his old school had called that school where I was working and warned the school about his parents. Then we met the child and we're like, oh, he seems pretty nice. Okay, fine. Let's see. Then we saw the child get upset, or like what happens, how the child reacts and how the parents react when there was a conflict with another child.
Mm,
And it was quite surprised. I was like, oh, I see it now. Okay, okay. Like the kid turned like it went to, "You're a big liar. You're a big liar." Okay. Just yeah, see why we might have gotten that phone call. That makes sense now.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's the 10% that I'm talking about is like
Mm,
those kind of like extreme cases. Another
fair
example that
enough.
I thought about when you were reading this post, um, there was some parents of a daughter, of a girl, of a child, sorry. There were some parents of a child, that only child, by the way.
Mm,
I don't want to give too many details away about the child or about the thing, but long story short, they had made a logo for this child who was in second grade.
logo?
A logo with the
Like
child's
with his
name,
initials and stuff or name?
the name. A logo with the name.
Okay.
Yeah. Attach that logo onto a 9-page PDF document of questions questioning the child's teacher, my colleague, questioning their teaching methods and approaches, and
Wait,
request
what? That sounds ridiculous.
and and putting a deadline on it.
Oh, okay. So the teacher got a deadline for when she was supposed to answer these questions, or
Yeah, that the nine
what?
page PDF filled with
Oh
questions.
my God. Okay, I'm sorry. What were they gonna do about it if she didn't meet the deadline or he didn't meet the deadline? Like, what's the consequence? What are the This sounds so ridiculous. And I really strive to not be that parent, but sometimes I mean not sometimes. I think I can count it on like one hand how many times I've been rude to like the teachers of my daughter's daycare, but the one recent one was like right before Halloween kind of thing. And she had lost her jacket and I had just bought it to her. And it was a particular like bad morning. And I came to the daycare and then I shouted at one of the teachers and actually one of the really nice ones that Marley really likes and I actually really like her as well. But I was really rude to her because I first of all had this bad morning. I had just bought the jacket that they lost and I felt like, okay, I can't be there to take care of her stuff. She can take care of her stuff. I just had this very, like, also in my tone, a very irrational, not irrational, what's the word? Like, just unjustified, like, expectation to this teacher. And I just started yelling at her. I'm like, we don't find like money on trees and stuff. Like, I just went into this rant. And as soon as I left, I was like, oh my God, I sounded so crazy in there. And my temper I just lost control for a little bit. Um, I just had a bad day, but it wasn't her fault. But at the moment, I was like, maybe it'll blow over. And I didn't even think about apologizing to her. But then I was talking to one of my really good friends who's also like Pirako. And I told her about the story and she said or she was just listening to me and I said to her, "You know what? Now that I'm saying it out loud and I'm repeating the story, I should actually apologize to her because that was not okay." Like I was still frustrated. I'm still like maybe it's the fact that I can't control what's happening and what she loses and what she doesn't lose, but and I know they have these many kids to look after like and it happens. They lose their stuff. But so I apologized to her and she actually said that I hurt her feelings. So that made me even happier that I apologized. But I wish she also had said it. I don't know. Anyway, we made up. I gave her a hug. We're good. I strive to not be one of those Karen parents.
And
Yeah.
don't care. No, but like I definitely handled it the right way. And yeah, I'm sure she appreciated that.
I hope so. Yeah.
Yeah, it ain't. Yeah, it's not easy, and I get it
Mm,
as well. Like it's so frustrating. It must be so frustrating. When I mean, it's frustrating for me when kids lose their things, but I'm not the one who's paying for them. Like it's
exactly.
yeah, 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 it's crazy.
And also
Like
because
a
kids
kid,
stuff are as expensive as adult stuff. It's crazy.
and they need so much stuff. They need so much
They
stuff.
do.
It's
And they
ridiculous.
grow out of it so fast.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Like
It
you're
really is.
buying 5 pairs of shoes in a year. It's crazy.
Yeah. I had a kid. I had a student. This happened today, actually. His notebook, his English notebook, had been
Uh,
lost because I get them to do some whatever, some writing exercises in their notebook. Sometimes they have to hand it in to me so I can mark it and grade it. So his English notebook has been lost for 2, 3 weeks now. Okay. Oh, and I haven't been able to find it since. I'm sure you have it. And I'm like, I'm very sure I don't have it. Like, I'm sure I don't have it. So have you checked your backpack? Have you checked at home? Have you checked blah, 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 blah? Like, yeah, I've checked. I can't find it. I think it's just lost. I think I just need to buy one. Okay. Have you checked your uh like they have these little like shelf organizers that where we put some of their notebooks on the shelf. Have you checked your shelf organizer? Yeah, I've checked. And then he goes to check his shelf organizer. This happened yesterday. Goes to check his shelf organizer. He's like, here it is, miss. I'm like,
he wasn't even trying to hide it. Oh, here it is. You're all right. I was wrong. It is what it is.
for the last 2, 3 weeks.
My God. Yeah.
It's impressive.
I love how nonchalant these kids can be sometimes. Like, I fucked up, but I don't care. I like whatever. Yeah.
I've recently used this sentence to a child, I think last week. I was like, it'll be easier for you to speaking of losing things, it'll be easier for you to find it if you take your hands out of your pocket and look for it. Because they were just walking around with their hands in the pocket, like, I can't find my pencil. I'm like, oh really? It doesn't look like you're looking very hard for it. Get your hands out of your pocket and look for your pencil. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Like, what planet are you on? So
uh,
nonchalant. Oh, I love them and they drive me crazy at the same time.
I know the feeling.
Okay,
Mid.
I was just gonna read the next one.
Yeah, go ahead.
The next one says, "The mom who told me I was overreacting, mom who told me I was overreacting when I took away a recess from her daughter for hitting people. She and her boyfriend were constantly in DV situations at home." Well,
Oh no.
that took a turn. I
I
guess
mean, at this
hitting
point, I
people like
think that the mom is the one doing the hitting because if she thinks it's normal, it's really sad. I know this is a completely different subject, but I just needed to comment on it. I think it's really sad that men that suffer from domestic violence doesn't. Oh, I don't hope this word is going to get flagged. Anyway, but men that suffer abuse from their partners who are women specifically, they don't get any sympathy from like police. Police can downplay their situation more than if it was a woman who came and talked about it or yeah.
so women be crazy too. I
Oh yes.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, the hitting kids, yeah, I mean, honestly, there are parents that have different points of view when it comes to kids hitting kids. So I'm not just
Hmm.
for that. I mean, to be fair, I know that some of the parents have told their kids to hit, but only in self-defense, which I understand. I understand it.
Okay, I was gonna want to hear your thoughts about this because maybe you want to hear mine, but go ahead.
I understand that as a parent. I understand as a parent, you are preparing this child for a cruel world, as you said. And in the cruel world, you might meet people that are gonna try to beat you up, and you need to be
Mm,
ready to defend yourself. I get that, but I'm not allowed to allow hitting of any kind for any reason. And I'm not saying that like there's been okay. I will say there may have been a handful of times where I'm like that child deserved it, and I do have. I love all my students. I don't believe in like violence or physical abuse, but I do have 3 students, and I was actually just thinking about this earlier today. Not currently. I've had 3 students throughout my career, for the 7 years that
right.
I've been teaching. 3 students in
Gotcha.
particular that will at some point get punched in their face by someone, and
Mm,
they will have deserved it. Out of
yeah.
the like 400 or 500 plus students that I've taught, I don't want any of them to get punched in the face. And if anyone else other than those 3 boys got punched in the face, I would be devastated.
Mm,
But if those 3 boys got punched in the face, they will have had it coming. But yeah, there are parents that will tell their kids like to hit back in self defense. But yeah, as a teacher, I can't like I just can't allow that. I can't be
mm.
privy to that because if I allow it once, I might have to allow it again because then it becomes, well, why do I get to do it or why does he get to do it and not me and they did it and blah 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 blah. Blah. So it's just easier to just be like, just hands and feet to yourselves, guys, and just use your words.
And that sounds completely fair.
Mhm.
But let me tell you what me and my husband has talked about when it comes to Molly. Because, we haven't told her this yet because she's only 4. Not sure she will 100% understand what I'm trying to tell her. So I'm leaving this for now. We'll see how things go. But my husband and I, we actually agree on this, luckily. And we've said this. If someone hits her or pushes her or is like in any way, shape, or form physical with her, she says stop or tries to stop the person like verbally. I don't like this, stop, stuff like that. If that doesn't work, she goes to a grown up teacher, and tell him her what happens. And they can talk to the kid or help in some sort of way to, diffuse the situation. If that doesn't help, she talks to us. We talk to the teacher or the parents or whatever and tell them about the situation. If that doesn't help, she is allowed to defend herself. I'm just saying. It's not the first like thing she's allowed to do, but if it keeps on even after like all these interferences from adults and it doesn't help, she's allowed to defend herself, honestly.
Disagree with that. Yeah. Yeah. But if that situation were to play out, and I've been in situations where that situation has played out,
Hmm.
please also understand that as a teacher, I still have to tell off your child.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I understand. But I mean,
But I get it.
if the teacher doesn't, or I'm not I'm not excluding completely that the teacher has scolded or told off the other kid to begin with. I'm just saying if that situation doesn't help, if
Yeah, I 100%.
she's
No, I
still,
understand what you're
yeah,
saying. I understand.
yeah.
Like, I understand what you're saying because
Mm,
I've seen that. That even if going to the teacher doesn't bring the results of resolution, and
exactly. But I also do understand
oh
that
motherfucker,
even 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 though I tell her to defend herself, I can still understand that a teacher needs to interfere if that's necessary. I completely agree. I'm not saying that they have to take like look the other way
yeah,
or give a blind eye to the situation,
yeah.
but I'm just saying I don't want her to be a doormat. Just if I'm being honest. Yeah, exactly. But she's already good at it, and I'm proud of her, and I hope this, sticks somehow, even in her teenage years and stuff. Because she does actually, like, I see her with her cousin, or if she has a play date and someone pushes her or does something, she's like, no, stop. And she's very, like, uh,
Mm.
and she's convincing as well. Yeah.
So that was our episode 3 of the Shay and Hygge podcast.
Episode 3.
Episode 3. Thanks
I
for
really like
tuning
that we're
in.
staying consistent. Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks for tuning in to episode 3 and catch us again in 2 weeks for episode 4. See
Like and
ya.
subscribe.
There we go. Oh, no, no. Oh, okay. Stop. Ooh, I was about to press the wrong thing.